Before we get into this video, I just want to say that we are almost at 200 subscribers, and my goal is to hit 500 by the end of the year. We're ready and on our way with that. So yeah, if you want to go subscribe, it takes 5 seconds. I would really appreciate it. Probably about 90% of you, according to my statistics, are not subscribed. So go down, change that, please. I would really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the tier list. It'll be shoulders. This video is probably going to be a little all over the place. I just got back from California and I needed something to do. And I figured I haven't done a tier list in a couple weeks, so let's go ahead and do that. And I did a little poll on my community tab, and last time I checked, shoulders was the winner. So we've got, I don't know how many this is, quite a few. We've got quite a few shoulder exercises, and they're split into 4 tiers. First tier, wonderful. The best of the best, my opinion, my favorites. And then we have nice, which is pretty close to that. Still gonna be pretty effective, just not as good as the ones up here. And then okay, which is kind of mid, I guess, mediocre. Obviously it's gonna work for you, but I feel like there are way better alternatives. And then what, which is not great. Seated dumbbell press, one of my favorites, to be honest. Really restricts your movement. My only one complaint with that is that sometimes I feel myself arching my back a little too much, and then I get kind of hip drive, I guess, or leg drive at all. But if you stay pretty disciplined with it, it's actually a really, really good exercise. Actually, you can do quite a bit of weight on it as well because of the chest activation. But yeah, I'd probably put it in wonderful to start. Dumbbell front raise is next. It's okay. It's okay. To be completely honest, I don't know. Is it on here? I don't see it on here. But I think I like to do barbell front raise. But dumbbell, I feel like, I don't know, it's a bit imbalanced. We'll put it okay. I guess we'll go okay. And then we got this little wonky guy, landmine press. I know people do it, but like, why? Realistically, why are you doing this? There is no need. It's not great for you. There are lots of better alternatives. I still think you can get away with being like, oh, I do this every day and it works my shoulders wonderfully. But I feel like that's going to take a lot more time than a lot of these alternatives down here. Probably one of the best right here, dumbbell reverse fly. The picture right here seems to be incline. But I guess I'm just going to kind of group it all together and bring it in. Amazing for the rear delts if you're very disciplined with the motion and you're not just kind of throwing up weight, you know what I mean? If you're throwing it up like that, it's not really worth it. But I still think there could be better rear delt, so we'll put it in nice. Machine reverse fly. Now, I haven't used this in over a year, back in my Planet Fitness days, so yeah, shout out Planet Fitness if you still go there. I don't have anything against it, I just really like to do free weights. So machine reverse fly, I really liked it back when it happened. I felt really humbled by it because I used to be like, oh, I could see people do 100 pounds on this. This was back when I could do like 30, if that, and I struggled with it, man. But honestly, rear delts are such a small muscle that it's really hard to feel an activation, so they're kind of the same thing realistically. This one's probably more restricted than the dumbbell, so we'll put it ahead of dumbbell actually. Who's doing this? Who's doing upright rows with barbell? We're gonna go ahead and throw this in here. Where's it at? I saw dumbbell earlier. Where's it at? What? Or was it cable? It was on here earlier. Oh, right here. It's right here. There's no point, dude. You could do so much better things with this. Is it on here that I was looking for? What I was specifically looking for? No, I guess not. Personally, and I'm not gonna go ahead and add this. I just kind of found this one online, but my favorite rear delt exercise is face pulls. If you put your arms above your head and you pull back like that, I get one of the best burns I've ever had when it comes to rear delts, that I actually like feel it all the way down. Sometimes I'll feel it in my lat, which I don't know if that's healthy. I'm sure it is, because they're all pretty much connected, but I feel that quite a bit down there. But yeah, barbell upright rows, these two are way better for you. The flies are way better for you than just the rows, because I feel like that's more of a forearm exercise, I guess. I feel a lot of forearm on that, so that's just me. We've got cable reverse fly. These can be really good too. I feel like we'll put it in okay. I don't want to put all the rear delts in okay, or nice, so we'll put it at the top of okay. I think these two are probably better because you're a lot more restricted. But the reverse flies, I think, can be just as good. But I think the thing that has these two up here is the fact that you don't get much help. Yeah, that's really all I have on that. Push press. So this is like, put it in okay. This is where you get your leg drive and you just, I don't know, like this right here, standing barbell press, I think is way more effective, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Push press, I think, is kind of ridiculous because, actually no, we'll put it down here. This is probably the worst shoulder exercise because there's no point. Like, you can see in the little diagram, I can't really zoom in, but it's like activating legs too. Why do you need to activate your legs on a shoulder day? There's no need. You're better off doing standing barbell press and you'll get a better burn on your shoulders. Next up, we have pike push-ups. This is for my calisthenic guys. I've done them and they suck, but I think they're actually really good for them. Once again, looks like another rear delt. I don't know specifically what pike push-ups do. I've done them a couple times, but it seems like it focuses rear delt, but I feel like it focuses a lot of the shoulder in general. Really, really good. I wouldn't put it in wonderful up there with seated dumbbell press, but I still think, especially if you're not quite there on doing weight or anything, and you're doing body weight kind of stuff, pike push-ups are probably the best shoulder alternative for any of that. Yeah, calisthenic guys, shout out to you for actually having a good exercise for once. Moving on, we've got standing dumbbell press. It's beta compared to the seated dumbbell press. We'll put it in front of front raise. I don't see the point of standing if you're going to do dumbbells. Seated, I think, like I said, restriction is my biggest thing on shoulders, because if you're restricted on shoulders, it's strictly shoulders most of the time. Everything else, if you're using some sort of momentum, it'll be legs, chest, sometimes even a little bit of back if you're pushing enough, I guess. But yeah, standing dumbbell press is way inferior to seated. I recommend doing seated if you're going to do dumbbell shoulder press. This, however, we're going to put at the top of nice. As I said before, push press sucks ass. But standing barbell press is actually really good. That's basically the same thing as a push press, except you're not going down and squatting and using your legs. It's strict shoulders, and I honestly would put it in wonderful, but I feel like that's kind of a tier of the elite. So dumbbell press seated, I think, is better than standing barbell press. Seated Arnold press. I don't really know what to think of this. This is like a CrossFit kind of thing. It's solid. We'll put it at the top of nice. I don't do it often at all, but the fact that you bring it down as well, I feel like it's kind of more of a restricted kind of thing. I feel like it probably burns the rear delts too. Not 100% on that, but I feel as if someone who really enjoys the eccentric, going down slow there, I feel like that burn could be really, really good. Okay, next up, machine shoulder press. I feel like this is strict shoulders as well, but I feel like you can also use leg drive on this. We'll put it at the top of okay. Like I said, it's really all about your restriction. I feel like with seated dumbbell press, you can get a lot more of that if you put it at a direct 90-degree angle. You could even put your feet up on the little like wheels of it, and then you can do strict shoulders. This is a lot harder because it's just a machine and the floor, so when you're trying to fight for that last rep, you're going to feel your feet push into the ground. So inferior to probably standing barbell and seated dumbbell. Next up, we have something that I think is probably elite. It's really, really good. Not quite seated dumbbell press, but behind the neck shoulder press, I mean. This is better than the standing barbell press right here. Strictly because you have no sense of help on your chest. I feel like standing barbell press, I'm bending back quite a bit, so I can use kind of like my chest in that sort of situation, but this is straight shoulders. You have no sense of help. You're just going up and behind. Yeah, it's really good, man. And then we've got 3 elites, 3 insane exercises. Oh, I don't feel like I can put all 3 into wonderful. So, dumbbell lateral raise. We'll put it top of nice. I feel like you can kind of ego on this. And another thing, you can use leg drive on, but depending on if it's seated or not. If it's seated, it's a lot harder for you to do that, but I still feel like that motion of bending over, just throwing it up could be very, very difficult. We'll actually put dumbbell reverse fly in front of dumbbell lateral raise, because I feel like this is more restricted than that, and it gives a way better burn. So, I mean, yeah, I would say dumbbell reverse fly is better, to be honest. We'll put this back down below standing barbell, probably. Machine lateral raise. This is another thing that I don't do often at all. I feel like there's a way better alternative, and that is cable lateral raise. We're going to put that number 1 shoulder exercise, actually. Specifically, if you put the cable behind you. If you put the cable behind you, your restriction, just like I said on behind the neck shoulder press, your restriction is a lot harder. Oh, my phone just went off. But yeah, your restriction is way better, and it's just straight side delt, which I personally love to cook my side delts. I'll probably do 6 sets of lateral raises, like different variations. I always stick with cable to start because of how effective it has been. Obviously, it's not there 100% because I'm not a fucking Alex Eubank, but you can see I have more volume on my shoulders than what I used to have if you go back to my very beginning videos. That's because I started to do cable lateral raises, and that is probably the biggest exercise you're going to want to dwell on when you are looking at hitting your shoulders. And then, like I said, machine lateral raise. I'm going to save this. I don't really know where to put it. We'll go back at like end of nice, because I feel as if dumbbell lateral raise and cable lateral raise are both more effective. There's a reason that my gym does not have this machine, because you do not need it. As I said, lateral raise, any variation, to be honest, on lateral raise is incredible. I feel like this is probably amazing as well. You can see like you're going to be seated. The restriction is probably really good as well. Cable is number 1 there, and then dumbbell, and then machine. That's just me. But anything I want to rework, I don't think I want to rework any of this. Cable reverse fly, I feel like that's just because I didn't want to put all my rear delts in there. We'll put it above shoulder press. Yeah, the rest of it looks good. That's my list, at least. Also, if you're looking for some sort of advice, I'm gonna kind of break it down what I personally do. So as someone who is looking for more of a bodybuilding physique, I go for a ton of volume. Like, for my shoulder day specifically, I like to do 2 different exercises of side delts, 2 sort of pressing kind of things, and then 1 rear delt. So that is 5 different exercises total for 3 muscle groups. Side delts, I probably do about 6, 7 sets. Like I said, I like to absolutely cook my side delts, so that's one of the biggest things on there. And then what I use as like kind of my compound lift, I guess, is I'll do probably most likely seated dumbbell press. I'll do that for like 4 sets, and then I'll do a different pressing movement for say like 2 sets, so probably 6 sets of that as well. And then rear delts, I usually only do like 3 sets, but that's still 15 sets in a shoulder day, which is absurd work. But I really like to cook my shoulders. I feel like you can burn your shoulders out and be fine for the next day. You'll wake up, you'll be like, oh, I could probably do that again. You shouldn't do it again, but you probably could. Hope you all enjoyed. As I said at the beginning of the video, I am currently a few subs away from 200 subs, and I set a goal for myself. I wrote it down. I want 500 subs by the end of the year. So, with the way that we've been growing, I think we are able to hit it. Still a pretty lofty goal in my opinion, but it's doable. It's really doable. Yeah, go down, subscribe if you really want to. Like if you enjoyed the video. I'll probably bring out another community post asking about what other tier list you want to do next. I'm actually going to work out next week. I promise you. There will be a video about a workout next week. I've gone 2 days without a workout, or 2 weeks without a workout video posted. So yeah, that's the plan, is to get that out there. But since I just got back from vacation, I had to get something out, and I figured it'd be another tier list. So yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. God bless, and hope to see y'all next week.